All right, so it's Paul Adams here from Agilian, and I'm here with Harry. And Harry's one of our customers that's been on site for a while, so and kindly agreed to sit down with me and just talk about your experience, Harry. So you want to introduce yourself, and then we can sort of just go from there, really.
Yeah, thanks for the invite. My name is Harry Lawton. I'm from New Zealand, and I've been working with Agilian for pushing 2 years now. I'm currently in the factory. This is my second trip to China, and yeah, I've been extremely impressed with everything that they've been able to accomplish for us. We are just about to release our product after 18 months of R&D, and they've been supporting us the whole way from R&D to production, to certification, and everything in between.
Excellent. So it certainly helps being on the ground. One would assume it's as opposed to sort of trying to manage everything from a distance. And the team here has been very supportive. I've seen them running around, helping you and assisting you during your time here in China, which is very useful. From missing parts to chasing suppliers and organizing sort of visits to various different sort of subcontractors, as it were, so which is very useful. Now, that is very, very difficult being back in New Zealand. Yes, it can be done, but you can see the advantage of a factory visit to the plant and to our facility. How do you feel that has been an advantage for yourself and anybody else that's running a project, and what would you recommend to them?
Number one regret overall is not coming here far more often. I mean, the productivity being here is just dozens of times better than operating at a distance. Everything from communication, you have an issue, you walk to someone's desk and you have a conversation. You know, you have an issue with a supplier or a quality on a part, you go to the supplier. My recommendation to anyone would be come to China, stay at the factory and do R&D here and work with Agilian and with the supplier, and so much more time effective and cost effective.
It is, yes,
yeah, and as well as the support in factory, for our first production run, as you mentioned, like having everyone that's able to help on the go, find parts, talk through the production assembly and being able to see the assembly plant as it's functioning in front of you. It definitely enables you to design for manufacture better. And you're thinking about the small things that go into, how this part is going to be assembled.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Even though you've got the team around you, you are the design authority, and as it's none of our product. We don't own any of your designs. You retain all of the IP and all of the sort of data files that go with that. But we're here to support from, right from scratch. Now, as you know, our processes start from the concept upwards and move forward through to mass production. And now teams are separated out into the various different departments in order to make sure we got a focused, personnel capable of doing those specific requirements at the right time. Now, I know you've had sort of new product development lead in Dimitri helping you out, so which is great. But then we've got the project manager, the overall project manager in Flora. She's been pushing forward and helping with that. And each of these different phases has allowed you to move forward through the production in a structured manner. So how have you felt that that structure has helped you move forward instead of just like, I'm all excited, let's go to mass production straight away?
Yeah, well, the staff here are absolutely insanely good. So as you mentioned, Dimitri and Flora are key to the project, and I've worked with them really closely. It's just brilliant having them, even better on site, but they have been just completely instrumental the whole way through, because especially this is the first product that I've personally brought to manufacture. I've worked on similar projects, but not all the way through. And it is a lot more complex than you probably initially think going in. And so having the teams of people that are, certification or product development or sourcing, having them all separated, and that's their expertise. They know how to accomplish each of their subtasks. And yeah, as you mentioned, it does help keep everything just on track and moving forward. I think if you were to try to, I'm not even sure it was really possible to do it all yourself. I think it's really critical to have these teams with the expertise, and you can't be an expert at all the things that go into production.
Yeah, exactly right. And this is why we are structured the way we are. And we've got a fairly vertical integrated sort of factory here, as you've seen. We've got the office staff upstairs where we're doing the sort of the R&D work through to purchasing. We've got the quality aspects. We've also got our own injection mold plant. Some of those you've seen. We've got the assembly line where your product is sort of getting ready to go down to pre-production. We've got the development lab where you've spent a bit of time. So, but I know we're spread out a little bit, but having that vertical integration has certainly helped, I believe, bring your product along at the speed it has. You mentioned the timescale there, but we're not going to talk about the product itself, but it is a relatively complex product instead of just a water flask, for example, that takes months as opposed to sort of a year plus. So having everything under one roof, as it were, is, I think, a huge benefit as well. And you must have seen the benefit from that, let's say.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, it is a complex product. It has elements of software, electrical, refrigeration, complex, very complex plastic and metal molding.
Yeah.
And so having everything, vertical integration is definitely the best bet, because that's what everyone wants at the end of the day from manufacturers. I got a one person and they produce all my plastics, they produce my metal, they can R&D, they can problem solve, do the certification and every tiny bit. Even like your network with SMT PCB manufacturing. So yeah, I mean, it just makes everything so much simpler having it all under one roof. And again, just being able to walk down to someone's desk between different departments and solve problems. And then to be able to do the R&D, you guys have the labs required for the physical machining. So you can do a lot of it on site, far more rapidly than if you're dealing with back and forth from suppliers.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, so I don't want to keep your time, but I appreciate you sort of sitting down with me today, Harry. Bottom line, would you recommend Agilian to anybody else? And what's your final words? Not putting words in your mouth. It's just an unbiased opinion.
Unbiased opinion is that I definitely wouldn't have been able to do it, at least in the time frame that we're talking about, without you guys. I think great communication is pretty critical, and it really helps that I can sort of delegate to the sub teams that we talked about and sort of just know that it will get done and allow myself to focus more on project management. So yeah, I would absolutely recommend. And yeah, it's really easy to get on a plane and come visit and see it for yourself.
Excellent. All right, Harry. Well, you take care and hope the product goes into production soon. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thanks very much.